Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Matt from Dlux Fab, dluxfab.com. Today, we're back on SCX24. If you can't tell by this huge axle in my hands, thing's massive, ain't it? So, what we have in store, I've already pulled it apart from the truck, as y'all can see. I did figure y'all needed to show y'all how to do that. You can handle that, no problem. Got the servo mount off. I got a NSDRC aluminum servo mount, the 4-link mount on the back. I got an RS100 micro servo for it. I forgot to get a good aluminum servo arm for this, so I'm just going to use the plastic one that came with the servo for now. For a truck this small, it'll probably suffice better than I would expect. So, obviously I've already pulled this all apart. First step we're going to do, we're going to pull the, got some fuzzy hair on that from couch crawling. We're going to pull these pins and the, man, I can't even speak today. The hexes and drive pins. We're going to pull those off first. Words are hard. We're going to try to do this all live here so I can actually show you, but you guys, man, I can't get a hold of that stuff. It's so small. Tech driver. Okay, got those out. Take these knuckles off. Man, those screws are little. Hope you all having a decent day. It's Friday over here today as I record this. It's been a pretty decent week. Been rainy a lot over here. All right, so we got our kingpin screws out. See, these are a dog bone. Get your stub shaft, and then your inner axle shaft in here. I'm gonna use the magnet again. Pull that out. Now, when you go to a universal style shaft, this little bearing down in the bottom there, you don't need that in there anymore. So I'm gonna try to pop that out with something or other, because we don't need that bearing in there anymore. Yep, got her. Next step. Got our fancy, these are the regular width SCX24 shafts. For those of y'all keep asking where the +8 shafts are, we had a couple of bad batches of those in a row from the machine shop, so we've been short on being able to get those out. They weren't great. They came in a little rough and we sent them back, and then they came in again and they're rough again, so we sent them back again. Hopefully pretty soon the machine shop will get their stuff together and we'll get the next ones. But here's the regular width ones, because this axle, we're staying regular width. We're not going super crazy with it. Now, I have our new Dlux Fab brass knuckles waste right here. You're going to reuse the bearings that are in these housings here. So we got to get these popped out. There's one. There's two. So nope, that's the right one. So now, as you can see, the axle sitting here. These are the kingpin inclination on these would be 8 degrees. See, that one's further out than that one. So when you line your knuckles up, you look, top is further out or further in, and this one's further out. And of course you want that on the front. So let's drop our bearings in. Nice snug fit. Not loose, but not tight either. You should be able to squeeze those in with your fingers. It shouldn't be that hard. Drop our shaft in here, like so. Now, this is a struggle bus for me. I'm gonna try to get these little pin back in here. I use my shock pliers. My needle nose are in the other room, so we're using shock pliers to grab that little pin. Sweet, we got it. Get that nice and centered. Then we can push our hex back on. Voila! Let's go ahead and build our other side. Oh, that bearing came out with it. But it might be fun to get that apart here in a minute. Get our dog bone out. See if I can use this shaft here to hook this bearing, like on the inside, and kind of waller it, boom, like that, and catch it. You can catch that inner bearing with this lip right here. Sorry. Sometimes you can catch that inner bearing to pull it out with the lip right here on the inside of that, if it'll focus on it. So, now, as you would expect, this other bearing stuck on the shaft. Don't mind my boo-boo on my hand there. I hit it with a hammer last weekend. You know, you work on stuff too long in the garage, you get tired, you start making mistakes. You hit yourself in the thumb with a hammer. Now, that bearing's being stuck on there, but being this axial stuff, I would guess that this inner bearing I just pulled out of that axle housing is the same for that knuckle. So we're just going to leave that one on there for now and move forward. Use this other one. Boop. Boom, there you go. Get our other shaft. And like so. Set that down. Try to keep stuff in frame for y'all so you can see. A lot of times I'll use these shock pliers just like that for really small stuff. Just because I can't grab stuff that small. We got started. Come on. There we go. Get our hex on. Get that good and tight. Sweet. So now, drop this home like so. We'll turn the axle shaft until it drops into the locker. There it went. Now get that in frame. Now, bag here has a steering linkage and stuff in it. Also has these itty bitty baby bushings. See how small and cute they are? Those go there. Once again, I'm going to use the pliers. Drop that in. And then same kingpin screw you pulled out of it. Put her in. Sorry, it's hard to see with my mitts in the way. Now turn it over and do the bottom. So what these little bushings do, they allow you to tighten the screw down against the bushing. That way it doesn't bind against the knuckle when the knuckle's turning. Man, I'm struggling with this. We're going to use this driver here to... stay. Y'all laughing at me with these big silly hands. working on this little tiny truck. Careful when you snug this stuff down, guys. It's going into small plastic. Don't go monkey torque on it. Just snug is good enough. You can check it now and then to make sure it ain't loose. Other side. Doink. This seemed to be the preferred method. Another kingpin screw. One more tiny bushing. Turn this way, it probably is easier. That way gravity's kind of on your side. All right. So, looks like we may or may not need to trim this housing. This is my first time building a set of these. And it would appear that, yeah, that's a thing. If you look here, it looks like that's going right there and stopping it. It's not that much steering angle. So I wonder if we need to break out the handy dandy Dremel and clearance those. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to pause you guys for a second. I'm going to pop these knuckles back off. I'm going to clearance right here on the front and back on both sides to get myself some more steering angle, because that's subpar in my book. It should be more than that. So hold on a sec. All right, so I got that off. Here's what I think I'm going to try to do. I'm going to record it for posterity or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try to do this with X-Acto knife. Just see if I can shave some of this out. Now you want to stay away from the this. You don't want to get on close to the ends at all, because that's where all the strength is for the kingpin bolts. But we definitely want some more steering angle. All right, y'all get the idea. See how much more room we've made here versus here. I'm going to do that on all four, or on both sides of these C-hubs. I'm not going to make y'all watch me. Please hold. All right, we're back. All right, we're back. You can see that I trimmed those up pretty nice. It's pretty much even front to back. That one may need a little more trimming on this side here, but we're going to go with that. I think that'll hold up, and it's going to allow a bunch more steering angle. All right, we'll put these back together, put the knuckles back on, and we'll see how much angle we gained. Hold on. All right, y'all, got them back on. That's a marked steering improvement angle now. That one actually goes probably farther than it should. But they're not going to go that far in use. But it's cool to know they can. Oh yeah, that's way better angle. Sweet. Don't feel like they're binding much at all. Next up, got this tie rod. I'm not quite sure how that's all going to go together yet, or if it's going to even work with my setup. So we're going to move forward to the servo mount. I'll drop this back on. Gets two of these really long chrome screws. Those are the ones that came with the servo mount from NSDRC. Pretty nice stuff over there. Yeah, NSDRC makes pretty nice stuff. They always stand behind it if there's a, you know, an issue, because electronics, you know how that stuff is. It can work beautifully today. You plug it in tomorrow and it's something went wrong with it. But all the NSDRC, all of the NSDRC servos I have on my rigs, they've all worked great. Like I've only broken one, and that was my fault. I probably launched it 5-6 feet in the air trying to clear a gate, and it landed under full throttle and broke the gears in it. All right, there's servo mount. Drop on our servo. Now these get the servo mount will come with with these screws with some flat washers. The shorter screws and the flat washers, best I can figure, go on the servo, mount that up, spread that force out. It's going to make your front forelink stronger too. The servo is going to be a little heavier than the factory one. The mount's going to be heavier than the factory one. And these knuckles are going to be heavier than the factory setup. So we're going to put some weight on the front of this truck and actually make it climb. Y'all laughing at me. Those of y'all that got delicate fingers and can make this stuff look easy. My dog came to visit. Probably come in here and make a racket. See? I can see that working, but I'm not excited about it. It's like it needs a couple of washers on top or something. I don't know. I'll have to revisit that, because I may have it wrong, guys. It's the first time me building this. You guys are learning right with me. But as far as steering angle, yeah, buddy. That's pretty good. Assumes I don't have hardware for that. We're going to move forward. So bolt this back in the truck. Well, here y'all can see it pretty well here. That's a massive difference in steering angle there. Look at it from the bottom. So that's just huge. From what it was to what it is. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So guys, there you have it. So I may have missed a step or two, like I said, on this tie rod and drag link setup. I gotta figure out exactly. I think I need some washers, some little washers, and this would work beautifully. I just don't have them handy. So, because I still don't have that small hardware yet, I haven't really been working on stuff this little very often. So, all right, guys. Well, I'll bolt this up in the truck, and we'll go out and we'll give her a test drive here in a few minutes. All right, guys. I got the front axle all bolted back in there, but we got a couple of issues I'm gonna have to overcome. So, as I've said 3 or 4 times, I'm new to this 24 scale stuff. These wheels aren't going to work, these factory wheels. If I tighten them down, it's not going to work. They're binding up on those knuckles. So that's a bummer. Secondly, now that I put this other servo in here, I don't know if you can see or not. Try to roll it under. The back of the servo, let me get a driver. Yeah, this will work. The back of the servo here is hitting the bottom of this plate. So I'm not sure how well I'm going to make that fit, what I'm going to do about it. I may just be able to unstick this, slide it back, and then trim, you know, unstick this combo part, the combo ESC receiver, all that. Pop it loose from the servo tape holding it down. Scoot your back, and then trim the box it sits on for the servo to come up, because that ain't sweet. The rear is nice, but that ain't gonna. At that point, how much effort do we put in this stock chassis, though? But we're gonna do it. But I need to order wheels, so I could fix this, but I still can't drive it because the wheels won't work. They're on there, but just loosely. I said, though, the steering angle's much better than it was. Gotta figure out that too. Steering angle's much better than it was, so we like that. But it created other problems I have to solve out. So I guess come back next week and we'll have those other problems solved. But for now, that's how you install the knuckles and axle shafts in SCX24 axle. Dlux axle shafts, Dlux brass knuckles. Pretty good stuff. So, alright guys, we'll see you next week, and we'll make this thing actually drive again and get some good footage. Thanks. See ya.